Hey teachers, let's talk about the missing link in classroom management. I bet you it's something you've never even thought about. So teachers, most of the time you're looking at techniques from classroom management to something to like you do directly with the students. Believe it or not, this technique that I'm going to unveil for you today has nothing to do with you. The only thing you have to do is intentionally embed this or build this into your classroom time. And I think you take this one for granted. You think the students talk to each other all the time so they know each other. If one thing that I can glean from the pandemic is prior to the pandemic, we had cracks in connections. What the pandemic did is showed us that we have canyons in connections. And more than ever, what we're experiencing is the disconnect from student to student. You wouldn't believe how many teachers post our training, after our training, have said, I thought I'm really good at connecting with my students, but I never thought about the students connecting with other students. So teachers, let me share a quick story to put this as an example. I had a PE teacher post-training come up to me and say, never really thought about how my students interacted with each other, but this training has made me think about those things. And when she went back into the classroom, she started to reflect on a lot of the classroom issues that she was dealing with. And this was in PE. And we all know that all classrooms are different, but I will tell you, as a former PE teacher, I dealt with a lot more classroom behavior issues in the PE classroom than I did in the regular classroom. And so whatever that circumstances are for you, she started putting together and recognizing those gaps. She started putting students together second semester. They didn't even know each other. She started thinking, well, you spent the whole school year with them. Of course you know each other, but they had never intentionally been partnered up in any activity before. So how this teacher did is she went back and she started intentionally embedding activities where her students could engage with each other and different students and mixing them up. And she started to see an engagement awareness going up in the classroom. And she started seeing a decrease in those tier 1 behaviors that we're trying to help you with in the classroom. Okay, teachers, I've got a challenge for you. But before we do that, let me put a little context around this. Emphasizing student-to-student connections in the classroom. So let's set this up. Let's put up a good GTKY question. Could be like, hey, how do you clean your Cheetos fingers? What's an app if you could only have one app on your electronic device? Something simple, shallow-ended, would you rathers, something fun and engaging for the students. Put up that on the board, give them a question. Next, have the students engage with each other. I love when you have groups of like 4, because you're not just doing shoulder partners, you're getting to know each other in multiplicity. So groups of 4, get your students in groups of 4, put a good question, give them something to talk about, and then put a timer up for 60 seconds and just have your students talk to each other during that 60 seconds. At the end of that 60 seconds, I just want you to be able to listen to their conversations. And then here's what I want you to do. Here's your challenge. I want you to ask the students to share one thing that they learned about the other students. And I'm going to ask you to do this one time for every week for the next 4 weeks. And then I want to hear what your feedback is on how your classroom management issues, have they increased? Have they decreased? What did you learn from experience in student-to-student connection? Hey, before you go, teachers, if this tool sounds intriguing, you're enticed, you know what? We've got more to offer you. Please check us out at ddiscipline.com.